Once upon a time in Nigeria, there was a small village called Umudim. The village was rich in culture, known for its festivals, dances, and strong sense of community. But amidst all its beauty, life in Umudim was not without its struggles. There were those who toiled in the fields under the scorching sun, and those who faced deeper personal battles. Among them was a man named Chinedu, a man whose story would become a testament to the mercy of God. Chinedu had been born into a poor family, the only son of his parents, Nana and Adama. His father, a palm wine tapper, worked hard but could barely provide for the family. Chinedu grew up seeing his parents' struggles and vowed to change their story. He was intelligent and ambitious, full of dreams that extended far beyond the boundaries of his small village. However, life had a way of presenting obstacles, and Chinedu's journey to success was riddled with challenges. When Chinedu was a young man, he got involved with a group of boys who introduced him to gambling. At first, it was harmless, just small bets here and there, placed with the little money he had saved. But as time passed, Chinedu's fascination with gambling grew into an addiction. His dreams of providing for his family faded as he became consumed by the thrill of winning and losing, of course. Day after day, he would sneak away from his home, leaving his parents to wonder where he had gone, and spend all he had in the gambling dens of the nearby town. It wasn't long before Chinedu began losing everything. The money he had saved up to help his parents was gone. His hopes of finding a better life were crushed, and the debts he had accumulated became overwhelming. His friends, once his companions in gambling, abandoned him when he could no longer pay his share. Chinedu felt like a failure, a burden to his family. He began avoiding his parents, ashamed of what he had become. One evening, after yet another loss, Chinedu found himself sitting by the riverbank, his heart heavy with despair. The moonlight shimmered on the water, but to him, it felt like the world was closing in. He thought of his mother, Adama, whose kind eyes were now filled with sadness each time she looked at him. He thought of his father, Nana, who had aged so much in recent years from the weight of the family's poverty. Chinedu's chest tightened with guilt. He had failed them both. As he sat there, lost in thought, a soft voice broke through the silence. "Chinedu, my son." Startled, Chinedu turned to see an elderly man standing behind him. The man was dressed in simple clothes, his eyes filled with a gentle wisdom. Though Chinedu had never seen him before, there was something comforting about his presence. "Who are you?" Chinedu asked, wiping his tears away. "I am just a traveler," the man replied, his voice calm. "But I have seen your pain, and I know the burden you carry." Chinedu's eyes widened in surprise. How could this stranger know about his struggles? The old man sat down beside him and continued, "Life has not been kind to you, and the path you've chosen has led you to despair. But it's never too late, Chinedu. God's mercy is vast, and He is always willing to show you the way back. You only need to ask." Chinedu shook his head, overwhelmed by the thought, how could God forgive someone like me? I've wasted everything. I've disappointed my family. I've turned my back on my dreams. There is no coming back from this. The old man smiled kindly. God's mercy is greater than any mistake. It is not about how far you have fallen, but whether you are willing to rise again. If you seek His mercy, He will give you a new beginning. The words pierced Chinedu's heart. For the first time in years, he felt a flicker of hope. Could it be that God would truly forgive him? Could his life be redeemed after everything he had done? He had nothing left to lose, so he decided to listen to the old man's advice. The next morning, Chinedu knelt by his bedside and prayed. It was not a long or eloquent prayer, but it was sincere. With tears in his eyes, he asked God for forgiveness, for the mistakes he had made, for the hurt he had caused his family, and for the strength to turn his life around. As he prayed, a sense of peace washed over him, a peace he had not felt in years. That day, Chinedu made the decision. He would no longer gamble, no matter how tempting it was. He would work hard, just like his father had, and do whatever it took to earn back the trust of his family. It wouldn't be easy, but Chinedu was determined. When he returned home, his parents were surprised to see him helping out around the house. For so long, Chinedu had been distant, rarely speaking to them, but now he was different. He was present, attentive, and willing to help in any way he could. His father, Nana, noticed the change first. "Chinedu, what has come over you? It's as if you are a new man," Nana asked. Chinedu smiled. "Father, I have asked for God's mercy, and I am trying to make things right. I know I have hurt you and mother, but I want to rebuild my life. Please give me a chance." Thanks for listening this far. If you enjoy the story, please click the like button, leave your comments, click on the share button, and share with your contacts. Also, please subscribe and turn on your post notification for further videos. Thank you. Now, back to the story. Nana looked at his son, tears welling up in his eyes. He placed a hand on Chinedu's shoulder and said, "My son, we all make mistakes. What matters is that you are willing to change. We will support you in this new journey." For the next few months, Chinedu worked harder than ever. He found a job in a local workshop where he learned carpentry. Though the work was difficult and the pay was small, he took pride in it. Slowly, he began paying off his debts, and little by little, he earned back the respect of those around him. One day, while working in the workshop, a wealthy businessman named Mr. Okpara visited. He was impressed by Chinedu's craftsmanship and offered him a larger job, helping to build furniture for a new hotel he was opening in the nearby town. Chinedu accepted the offer with gratitude, and before long, his skills gained recognition throughout the region. Chinedu's life began to change in ways he had never imagined. His business flourished, and soon he was able to move his family out of poverty. He built a new house for his parents and ensured they lived comfortably. The once distant and broken relationship with his family was now filled with love and gratitude. But Chinedu never forgot the mercy that had turned his life around. Every evening, after a long day of work, he would kneel by his bedside and thank God for the second chance he had been given. He knew that without God's mercy, he would still be lost in his old ways. Years later, Chinedu's story became one of inspiration for many in the village. People came to him not just for his craftsmanship, but for his wisdom. He often shared his testimony in the local church, telling people how God's mercy had saved him from a life of destruction. "There is no mistake too big for God to forgive," Chinedu would say. "His mercy is like the ocean, deep, endless, and available to all who seek it." As time went on, Chinedu married a kind and God-fearing woman named Nkechi. Together, they built a loving home filled with the values of hard work, humility, and faith. They had children, and Chinedu made sure to raise them with the lessons he had learned. He taught them about the importance of integrity, the power of repentance, and the endless mercy of God. One evening, as Chinedu sat with his family by the fire, telling them the stories of his journey, he couldn't help but reflect on how far he had come. From a young man lost in gambling and despair, he had become a man of faith, redemption, and success, all by the grace and mercy of God. His story had come full circle, from the depths of despair to the heights of glory. And it was all because when he had nothing left, he turned to the one whose mercy knew no bounds. I hope you love the story, and if you do, please leave your comments in the comment section telling me what story you would like to hear next. Please click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!